Okay, welcome back to the next video. Hey, in this video, we are going to set up the webinar. You guys have already gotten all the information you need inside of Webinar Fuel to create the actual webinar inside of Webinar Fuel. So what we need to do now is collect some information that's already there. You guys should have already set all this up, but I'll show you exactly what it is as we're going through and setting this up. So what you're going to want to do, go into your dashboard or go into your add-ons inside of your account. Go to create new add-on like this, or you should be able to go into your add-ons and then click create new, which would be up here in the top right corner. So click on create new, search by keyword. What you're going to look for is just type in webinar, and there will be two of them here that you're looking for, and that is the Webinar Fuel API register, and the other one is the Webinar Fuel confirmation that you're going to use on the confirmation page. We're going to worry about the Webinar API register here in this series, we're going to focus on the confirmation in the instructions for the confirmation video. All right, so for this one, let's click on Webinar Fuel API register, and we'll give it a name. Actually, I'm just going to leave it as Webinar Fuel API register, but you may want to name this appropriate to your funnel because it will be different. You will need a unique version of this script when you go and use this with a different funnel or with a different webinar, okay? So let's come down here to the session ID. You're going to need a few different things, mainly the session ID, the widget setting ID, and the widget version ID. All right, I know that sounds a little bit scary, but we're going to jump in and we're going to find that for you right now, and it won't be too bad, I promise. All right, so first, the session ID, let's go find that right now. All of this information is in Webinar Fuel somewhere where you've already created your webinar, right? So let's look over here real quick. So you've already created a webinar. I've created a fake webinar already here, and it gives me some information over here, the webinar setup. I've got all of these different options, things that I can set up, all these little details, right? So what we're going to go to for the session ID is the schedule. So go to your schedule, and then you should have a schedule group. Go to your schedule group, and what you want is the session. So if you have a session set up, like I've got this set up to every day at 8 p.m., which is in just a little bit from now, and there should be a little code right here, or a little ID number. So what you want to do is snag that. You want to copy that out and just copy like that. Just do a right-click copy, or you can do Control-C. My recommendation as you're setting this up inside of Webinar Fuel is to have one session. You don't want to have multiple sessions or anything, because each one of these is going to create its own session ID, which would be over here. If I hit save, it's going to give me a whole bunch of them, right? We don't want all of these different session IDs. So we just want one, and we want that one to encompass every time that we want to run this. So I've got this set to every day, just in time, basically every 15 minutes here, which is really cool. Or I can run it at a specific time. So what's going to happen when somebody registers, it's just going to load them into the next single session that takes place, okay? That is how that's going to work. So I would recommend setting this up in a similar fashion. And maybe if you do it like Russell Brunson, maybe he likes to do every week on a Thursday. So set it up at Thursday at 7 o'clock or something. So you might have it set up similar to this, but you're still going to have that one session ID that encompasses all of that information. So make sure that you set it up that way, and make sure that you that you hit save, so that everything's set up on that, okay? So hopefully that made sense. Let's move on. All right, so grab that copy ID out, and you're just going to take that over to the session ID, and you're just going to paste that in just like that. For now, just keep one session. This will work for one session, okay? All right, let's go back to widget setting ID, and I'll show you where to pick that up. So you're going to back out of this, and then we're going to go to the registration widget, okay? So go to the registration widget details, okay? And then up here in the top left corner, you'll see where it says floater, modal, embed, thank you. We're going to use the embed for this. We'll be using the thank you here in a little bit, but for this, I want you to click on embed, okay? And then you'll see this is where it shows that you need the name, the full name, and the email address. So what you're going to want is come up here to the top, and there's two numbers you'll see it right after widgets. You'll see a 43765. It might be different on your end. It probably will be. And then you're going to see another one. We're going to need both of those. But for this one, for the widget setting ID, we need this first one right after widget /. So let's pick that out of there. Copy. And then we're going to put that right here. Okay. And then for the widget version ID, we need that second set of digits right here. So that one's 90628. Copy. So it's the two numbers directly following widgets /. So you got your widget setting ID, and then you have your widget version ID right here. Okay. So grab both of those and plug those in appropriately. Okay. So you can see over here we've got 43765. And we have 90628. Make sure to double check those and make sure that those are good to go. All right, for now, that's all you really need to do inside of Webinar Fuel. You're going to come back to the widget name. You can name this probably whatever you want, but I would just leave it as embed. It's going to be defaulted to embed. That's just the widget name that comes from Webinar Fuel. Okay. Now the source is whatever you want it to be, but I would name it maybe something along the lines of CF or ClickFunnels, because that's the source where that registration came from. If you're tracking this back to a specific source, maybe you want to put this as Facebook or something else. Okay. So we'll leave that the way that it is. And we're going to create the add-on at this point. Okay. So just click create add-on, and then let's see, you're going to get your code. You can see all the configuration details here, and then you're just going to copy that code, and you're going to take that over to ClickFunnels and paste that information in appropriately. Okay, so I'll go into this a little bit more detail in the next video where I show you how to install this. Okay, I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.